Post from PINV 928. What are some solved mysteries? Comment from Zombie Moon 78. The McStay family disappearance and murders. In February of 2010, the McStays, a family of 4, Mom Summer, Dad Joseph, and sons Johnny and Joseph Jr., seemingly vanished from their home. Abruptly, a carton of eggs was left open on the counter and the family dogs were still outside in the backyard. The scene was eerie and complicated because the home the McStays lived in was in the process of being renovated. So a neat and orderly home wasn't the norm at this stage. It appeared there was missing furniture and the usual mess that comes with construction, some freshly painted or redone surfaces mixed with older versions. From the outside, it appeared the family just took off. Neighbor had surveillance that captured what appeared to be the bottom of the family SUV leaving the driveway. Since they were living in California, the border to Mexico wasn't far and authorities found footage of what appeared to be the McStays walking into Mexico with their 2 little boys in tow. The family SUV was found abandoned in a mall parking lot near the Mexico border. 3 years passed before the bodies of the McStays were found buried in shallow graves in the California desert. The bodies appeared to be in advanced decomposition and there were signs of blunt force trauma. A sledgehammer was also found buried with one of the bodies. Chase Merritt, a business partner to Joseph McStay, was arrested and charged with their murders on the 5th of November 2014. His trial was delayed for years until 2019. He was sentenced to death. Motive: Chase had a gambling addiction and had been and continued embezzling money from the business. His DNA was found in the McStays' abandoned vehicle. He bludgeoned this beautiful family to death for money. ETA link with more info. https://people.com crime McStay family murders killer sentenced death. Comment from BitterestLily. The disappearance of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, author of The Little Prince, who was also a French reconnaissance pilot during World War II. In 1944, he took off on a reconnaissance mission from Corsica and never made it back. And there was never any evidence of what might have happened to him and his plane. Finally, in 1998, a French fisherman pulled up his net and found wrapped in it a silver bracelet engraved with Saint-Exupéry's name. And in 2004, a diver searched in the area and found the remains of his plane, which had apparently been shot down by a German fighter after all. Comment from FrighteningJibber. The Windsor Hum, residents of Windsor, Canada, have been saying they could hear a hum coming from across the river in Detroit for the better part of a few decades. Well, turns out that when a steel producer turned their furnaces off recently, when they were closing up shop, the hum stopped. People had no idea what the noise could be until the factory closed. Edit. Also a little fun fact. Zug Island, where the factory was located, was mentioned in RoboCop and was also the destination of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald before it sank. Comment from Three Rivers Fantasy. Devil's Kettle Falls. A stream separates into 2 sections. One continues normally, the other spirals deep into a hole. All sorts of things were thrown down the hole in an effort to discover where the water went. Ping pong balls. Various dyes. It was even rumored that someone stuck an old car down there. Eventually someone came up with a clever idea. They measured the total water flow above and below the falls and discovered they were similar enough to deduce the 2 streams join back up relatively quickly. Edit. Source https://www.mprnews.org. Story. The 28th of February 2017. Hydrologists solve Minnesota Devil's Kettle Falls mystery also. I guess fun bonus. I first learned of the mystery from Reddit and it has since been solved. Comment from DieHardRennie. In January of 1993, a 14-year-old girl I went to high school with was abducted on her way to school, murdered, and left nude in a ravine. Her murder went unsolved until 2004, when advances in DNA technology linked her case to a man who was already in prison for killing another woman. Turns out he was a serial killer who had killed 4 women, some of whom had been raped. https://n.m. Wikipedia.org. Wiki. Alexander_Wayne_Watson. https://murderpedia.org. Mail. With Watson Alexander. HTM. Comment from CheapComb. The missing feet murders. For many years, human feet kept washing up on the shores near Seattle and Vancouver. A total of 21 were found. Naturally, people thought there was a murderer afoot. Sorry. and their modus operandi was to cut their victims' feet off before disposing of the body in the ocean. Turns out many of the remains were deemed as suicides. Turns out when you jump off one of the many bridges Seattle and Vancouver has to offer, your body decomposes, and your limbs detach. The foam and floaty material in the victims' shoes ensured their feet would float and get caught in tidal currents, this dispersing the detached feet nicely. Case closed. Comment from Juniper338. The case of Adrienne Shelley, screenwriter for Waitress. Husband came home to find her hanging in the shower. Ruled suicide. He insists she was happy and would never kill herself, promoting another view of crime scene where they found a shoe print that matched a construction worker in the building. Sure enough, the construction worker went to rob her and thought he killed her, so staged a suicide when the hanging ended up being the actual thing that killed her. https://n.m. Wikipedia.org, wiki, Adrienne_Shelley. Comment from kaidomac. The Sailing Stones of Death Valley. Asterisk, https://www.nationalparks.org, connect, blog, Sailing Stones Death Valley. Video here. Asterisk, https://youtube. B89AFHIEDPM. Asterisk asterisk TLDR. Asterisk asterisk rocks would magically move up to 1,500 feet in the desert. Turns out it gets cold and freezes the ground overnight, and the rocks would get pushed by the ice sheets that melted under the wind. Comment from OldWhoFan. 1947, and British South American Airways aircraft named Stardust disappeared. Its last message was simply STENDEC. After an exhausting search, no trace of the aircraft was found. For years, conspiracy theories and talk of alien abduction by wackos circulated. Till 1998, when mountain climbers on a remote mountain found an engine, pieces of metal, and clothing at the bottom of a glacier on the side of Mount Tupungato. Turns out the aircraft got caught flying the wrong way in the jet stream while it was flying at night and using a system of timing when to start their descent. Being in the jet stream reduced their airspeed in relation to the Earth, and they smacked themselves straight into the side of a mountain. After which an avalanche covered the wreckage. The wreckage took decades to flow down the side of the mount with the glaciers. The glacier preserved the wreck so well that 50 years later the recovery team found identifiable remains, personal items, and could read serial numbers on the engines. Amazing, one of the landing gear tires was still inflated, and that teams continued to visit the site for periodically as more of the aircraft, cargo, and remains of passengers are still emerging from the ice. Comment from Kariodude. Benjamin Kyle. Man found beaten behind a Burger King with severe amnesia. It was a fascinating mystery until it was solved. Then it was kind of sad. He had made TV appearances, had a couple of AMAs on Reddit, but no one could identify him. When his identity was discovered, William Burgess Powell, there was still a 20-year gap in his life from 1984 to 2004. There's no record he had done anything. He had distanced himself from his family and had no friends, which is why no one recognized or identified him from his TV appearances. Comment from XtwVAlllO. The death of Azaria Chamberlain. https://n.m. Wikipedia.org, wiki. Death_of_Azaria_Chamberlain. She was a 2-month-old girl who disappeared while camping with her parents near Uluru. Prosecutors successfully tried her mother for murder and father as an accessory. During the entire ordeal, it was insisted by her mother that Azaria was taken by dingoes, native wild dogs in Australia. This was disregarded, as before this there were no records of dingoes showing any hostility towards humans or causing any attacks or fatalities nearby. Several years later, an unrelated search not far from the campground found a child's coat of the exact brand and description Azaria's mother gave to the police, in an area littered with dingo dens. The parents' conviction was overturned and the case was established that in reality, she had been taken from her parents' tent during the night, killed and eaten by dingoes. Comment from riceandvegetable. What dinosaurs looked like. When I was a kid in the 80s, all that was known were the bones of the arms with enormous claws. Hence its name, Terrible Hand. They were mostly shown grasping a small car because they were so freaking huge. The rest of the animal was a complete mystery. Was it like a giant Allosaurus? One that'd make the T-Rex look like a puppy in comparison? A few years later it seemed more likely to be ostrich-like and an omnivore. Either way, given how rare it is for fossils to form at all, I was convinced I'd die never knowing what this dinosaur actually looked like. Then surprisingly in 2014, they found more bones and it was just the weirdest thing. https://n Wikipedia.org, Wiki, Dinosaurus. Comment from Mr_Cougarcat. The Solway Spaceman, in 1964. Jim Templeton, a fireman from the English city of Carlisle, was spending an afternoon out with his family when he snapped a photograph of his young daughter without much thought. But when he got home and had the film developed, he noticed what has now become known as the Solway Spaceman. The photo shows what many people say is a person in some form of spacesuit. Kodak even analyzed the photo and their experts said it was authentic, lending to the spaceman theory. The spaceman was his wife with her back to the camera. He was only able to see 70% of the frame and didn't realize his wife was in the background of the picture. Comment from SovietShooter. So, in the early 2000s, someone posted new wave music that had been initially recorded off a German radio station on cassette around 1985. It contained about a minute of a song that became known as Stay. The second time around, that no one seemed to be able to find any more information about. This became a pretty famous, earworm, internet mystery. Until 2013 when folks on Reddit discovered the actual song and artist. It turned out it was a song by Swedish artist Johan Lindell titled, Up on the Roof, that never became any kind of hit. And up until that time, had never been re-released after the original analog release. *edit. Adding more links for context. https://www. Reddit. .com music comments 1mkcej. Remember_the_mystery_80s_song_that_no_1_ https://www. Reddit. Music comments 1mkcej. Remember_the_mystery_80s_song_that_no_1_ cca 18pn. UTM_source equals share and UTM_medium equals web 2x and context equals 3. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.